Welcome, children of light. You've tuned into the Phoenician Star. My name is Eva. And the first thing that's coming down is a question. What are you afraid of? More shadow work. Yay. But this is a good thing. I do feel like I need to give this channel a trigger warning, and maybe I'll put it in the description. Some things come up that are triggering, that you may not be ready to deal with, that you may not be ready to face. And I want you guys to be aware of it so that you know what it is that you're getting into. If you're ready to face those things and ready to heal it, then good for you. But for those of us, for those of you who aren't ready, maybe I need to put that trigger warning in there. Anyway, it is coming out like, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid to be an individual? Are you afraid that your individuality is becoming snuffed out? Do you feel like you can't be your authentic self? That you've had a hard time realizing who you are authentically? It doesn't have to center around that, but I am getting a lot of feelings of a crushed individual, and meaning in terms of like how you show up in the world, your personality, who you choose to show your personality to, because of like maybe past history, maybe you haven't been accepted always. This could be past trauma in this life, past trauma in another life, or it could be passed down trauma. Maybe the person who raised you didn't show up authentically, so you feel like you can't, or it's a learned behavior. I'm not really sure. I'm just saying whatever comes down. Now, keep in mind that the messages that I give and the messages that I get, they're this is very general. There may only be a piece or a segment that's meant for you, and the rest of it is meant for somebody else. You take what applies to you, and you leave the rest alone. Now, before we get started with the actual reading, we're going to take some time to breathe. I'm not going to count, and on the count of one, we'll start and all this other stuff. I want you to start getting comfortable with the way the breath goes in and out of your lungs, because the way I breathe and the way you breathe are going to be totally different, because our bodies are uniquely made, so it's different. um, anyway, let's just go ahead and breathe and then we'll get started. Let's go. All right. I'm feeling like someone has a lot of tension in their hip muscles. You may need to start stretching that out before it gets too bad. Um, anyway, let's keep it moving. You're scared of what you're calling forth. You're it's like whatever it is that you're manifesting is going to take an extra step that maybe you didn't initially see. And I feel like it kind of ties into the message from yesterday. There's an aspect of your shadow that you are afraid of and you don't really want to face. But in order to get the things that you manifested, you have to deal with it. But you're afraid of what that extra step is, whatever this is that's coming down on you. I almost feel like it is, while we're talking about shadow work and all that other stuff, it's it feels like a shadow over you. You feel watched. Some of you feel watched. Some of you feel like you're being clouded with darkness, like it's almost a storm cloud or a rain cloud coming over you. You're fearful of that because you don't know what it is or what to expect out of it. But it really just wants to be your friend. And I said that yesterday. It really just wants to be your friend. You have to be strong. I know that's so cliche. Everybody's like, oh, you've got to be strong. You've got to, all this other stuff, and it You've heard it 1,000 times, but it's the truth. You really need to be strong enough to face whatever it is that's coming for you, whatever it is that wants to integrate. And really, if I didn't already explain it, a shadow, your shadow self is only an aspect of yourself that you have suppressed, that you have buried down. It is not always something that should be buried down. Now, if it's an aspect of yourself that's telling you to go hurt somebody else, or to be mean, be evil, then maybe you do need to suppress that. I'm not one to judge, but at the same time, I don't believe that we should be hurting each other. I do believe that society has kind of suppressed our creativity, suppressed our individuality, and suppressed what is it, our spiritual gifts and our connection with God, the divine spirit, whatever you want to call it. Those things are what needs to come about. um, Sexuality as well, that has also been suppressed, and it's going to have to be healed in some kind of way. um, yeah, if you forget my language, and I hate this term, I absolutely despise it, but this is what I'm hearing. If you want to be a boss bitch, then you have got to integrate your shadows. You've got to I can't remember what we used to say growing up. It's drink the Kool-Aid, or wake up and drink the Kool-Aid, wake up and smell the pheromones, or it's something I can't remember. Oh well, but that's kind of what it is like for you. It's time for you to wake up. It's time for you to get a grip on reality, and get a grip on the things that you've been hiding away. Mm. It's calling for you. Mm. I'm getting somebody who's been like hearing whispers, or like ringing in the ears. Whatever this is, it wants you to face it. Your heart is ready also. Um, Somebody's heart is about to be broken open. It's like I don't know if you've ever experienced this or heard about it, read about it, but sometimes things can happen to us, and they will completely destroy who we thought we were. And only then, after the illusion of who we thought we were has been destroyed, can we step up and be who we truly are. And that's what I'm getting the sense of. Like, the tower within yourself is going to have to completely fall down for you to show up as your most authentic, excuse me, your most authentic self. But you're guarding against it. You're so afraid of going through this hardship. Um, you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you can make it through this. Everybody talks about, oh, confidence. You gotta be confident. None of us are really confident. All of us are afraid of something. None of us will go through the fire. None of when faced with death, or especially ego death, we're gonna run and hide. Not many of us will go and face the fire. And you don't believe that you can. You don't believe that you're strong enough. And your spiritual team wants you to know that you are. You may have to take it slow. It may happen in a month. It may happen in 3 years. You really don't know. But the fact is to start trying to integrate your shadows. Start trying to see what it is that you've been hiding from all this time, and face it and become friends with it. It's just going to take a lot of confrontation, though. It's going to take a lot of confrontation in the spiritual world as well as the physical world. You're going to find yourself confronting people, or people confronting you. You're going to have restless nights. You're gonna be like crying in your pillow. I'm sorry. Like, this is a message. I can't change it. And I'm only sorry because I understand how tough it is. I've been there. I've gone through some things myself. I understand that it's not easy, and that nobody wants to be crying in their freaking pillow. But I can't really change the message, and I don't really want to. If this is what you need to live a full life, then that's just what it is. Your spiritual body has been blocked by the world. Your spiritual gifts have been blocked by the world. your skills had, like somebody told you like you were really good at something. Let's say that you were really good at painting, drawing, whatever. And somebody told you, that's trash. You don't need to quit your day job or something like that. And you stop believing in yourself. Your creativity was suppressed. There's some aspect of you that has been it was destroyed, or you put it away. This could be your nice self. You were nice and then you got taken advantage of, so you stopped being nice. And now that the nice part of your soul wants to resurface, it wants you to be a good person again. But you're afraid to do that because you don't want to get hurt. Or vice versa, you could have been a mean or angry person, and you put that part of you aside, and now it's wanting to come back out, but you're afraid of who you were. This message really is centered around being fearful of who you truly are. Some of you can't deal with the way that you look. I'm not really sure if you feel like you're unattractive or you feel like you're too attractive, but there's something about the way that you look, or some feature on your body, on your physical form, that you don't like, that you can't come to terms with, and it's holding you back from being seen in the world. Whether this is at your job, in romance, wherever, it's keeping you inside the house. It's like you don't want anybody to see you. It's like I'm getting you remember how on Shrek, like after dark, Fiona turned into the ogre, and so she didn't want to be outside after dark. That's the energy of it. You don't want anybody to see your physical form. And if you're really pretty, you really can't help that. You can't help that you were made pretty. And if you're not so pretty, you can't help that either. The only thing that we can do is focus on what's on the inside. As long as we're strong and beautiful on the inside, it's going to come out on the outside. And there's no use hiding it. There's no use of being ashamed of who we are. We are who we are, and we were made that way for a reason. And you better believe that there's somebody out in the world who will love and appreciate you for exactly for who you are. But it starts with you. Some of you don't want to go on this path alone. You don't want to go through this healing period alone, and that's okay. That's normal. If you don't have a good support system, amongst friends and family, get your psychiatrist. They don't cost as much as you think. And also, the crisis hotline. Look up the crisis hotline in your area and call it. It's free. Call it every night if you need to, or every morning, just whenever you have that free time. You don't have to go through this alone, or you can talk to your spiritual team. You don't really know how beautiful you are. I'm sensing a person whose spirit is just so loving and open that it's almost like you're one of those Disney princesses, and when you sing, the birds come around you, but they don't help you clean up. I know that it seems far-fetched, but I'm trying to give you a vision of what you really look like in the spiritual world so that you can know. Like, you really don't realize how beautiful your spirit is. It doesn't really matter what you look like on the outside, but you have no clue how beautiful your spirit is. And there are people who are looking for beautiful spirits, not to just use them, but to appreciate them. Some people will, you'll mess around and meet somebody who will realize how beautiful and how sweet you are, and they will freaking spoil you. They will help you to live a soft life because they just want you happy, healthy, and whole. Somebody is looking for you. That's the thing. This could be a partner. This could be a soul tribe. This could be someone who wants to go in business with you. Yeah, I'm thinking somebody. Yeah, it's different for a lot of people, but there's like a business partnership coming for somebody. You're not gonna like it at first because you don't trust anybody, and this is for everybody, whether it's romance, career, business. You don't trust anybody. There are times when you don't even trust yourself, and the thing is, this person or this group of people, this company, like, they're okay with you not trusting them. That they're fine. They're solidified in who they are. They know they're good people. They know what you bring to the table, and they are ready to invest in you. They are ready to show you that they can be trusted. And after a certain amount of time, you're gonna open up, and it's gonna be a really good union. You're gonna make more money than you've ever made before. You're gonna feel spiritually whole, because money is one thing, but it doesn't buy happiness, and it doesn't buy joy. So you can make all the money that you want in the world, but if you're still not fulfilled on a soul level, you're not going to be happy. So not only is this bringing in more money, it's going to bring in more happiness. It's going to bring in more peace. You're going to be able to help more people, which is really your goal anyway. But it's going to take a healing period. You've got to go through this dark night of the soul. There is no way around it. I'm going to get a different deck. Bear with me a minute. You are sad. You do feel like crap. You don't want to go through this on your own. You don't want to have to face your own shadows. You are going so far as to, some of you, you don't even want to think about what it is that you could get on the other side of this dark night. You don't even want to think about it. You just want to lay somewhere and just holler and cry and howl at the moon. Do that then. Go outside and howl at the moon. It's very freeing. And so what if people think you're crazy? They're not gonna like you anyway. Yeah, that's I'm gonna leave it at that. Stop turning away from this. There's no escaping, okay? I really need you to know that there's no escaping this shadow coming for you. And I know that sounds really spooky or whatever. I'm not trying to spook you. I just want you to know that your shadow is coming for you. It wants you to pay it some attention. It wants to integrate. This came out yesterday. I can't change the message. It's ready for you to acknowledge it. It wants you to acknowledge who you are. And maybe you need to acknowledge who you are so that you don't go backwards. Maybe right now you're not such a good person. Maybe right now you haven't been. Maybe you've treated people like crap. Maybe you've hurt people. And your shadow wants you to say, look at what you're doing. There's no way around this. You will meet this shadow again and again and again. If you don't address it now, you will address it later on in life, when your body isn't as strong as it is right now to handle it, or you will face it in another lifetime. This isn't going anywhere. I want to really leave you with, you got to face it. You got to drink from the cup. They want your what is it called? Your shadow wants to do like a knowledge exchange with you. It's like, here, I've taken a sip of what you had to offer me all this time. Now you take a sip of this. It's like it's like getting high off your own supply. It's like drinking your own poison. And I'm not saying nobody needs to go out and get high. I'm not saying nobody needs to go out and drink any poison. None of that. None of that. All I'm saying is, like, whatever you haven't been dealing with, you're gonna have to take a long sip of it. Hopefully that makes sense, but I really can't put it any other way, because those are the words that are coming to me. I want to try to pull something that's a little lighthearted, and I'm not trying to change the message, but it's just, I don't, being an empath and feeling what you guys are feeling, it is heavy, and I don't like to leave people on that note. So just give me one more second. I want to pull out one more deck. You're really afraid of yourself, if I didn't already say that. What you're afraid of is you. You're afraid of your own power. You're afraid of what you could be. You're afraid of the people that you'll leave behind. It's like if you stop doing drugs and you won't have no more friends. Well, fine. If your friends can't, accept the fact that you're sober, then they're not your friends anyway. Some of you can accept the fact that you are star material and you don't really want to be in front of the camera. So like you don't want to have to deal with it. Some of you are going to be leaving the country and you don't want to leave your family behind. What you're afraid of is yourself. What you're afraid of is destiny. And it's time. It's time. It's time for you to step into your destiny. But you've got to integrate the shadow first. Even with the new deck that's came out, it's like this after you get through this dark night of the soul, it's going to be everything you ever wanted in life. Everything. There's going to be sunshine. You're gonna, what does that song say? I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Um, I can't remember the rest of it, but it's like it's like there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's really bright. It's really happy, but it's just the turmoil that you're gonna have to go through to get it. I cannot change the message. It is what it is. You're gonna have to integrate. Do you have any tips? Any tips? None. Oh, oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to leave it at that. That's it. I'm sorry that you're going through this. It is gonna be worth it. Um, somebody's spiritual team, and if this doesn't resonate, don't take it. But somebody's spiritual team is getting they're not really getting pissed, but they do want to speak to you harshly. And what they're saying is like, don't be a coward. Turn around and face this. Turn around and face me. Like that's what I'm getting. Anyway, I'm gonna have to leave it there. Good luck. Um, anyway, all right. Good luck and follow your own star.